over a challenge. Right. And I'll get told it frequently, and that's fine. I've come to terms with it. I'm not going to be a 100-meter sprinter. I don't need to be a 100-meter sprinter.
No, you don't. The challenge is you've got weaknesses and you've got strengths, right? Mm-hmm. Do you constantly work on your strengths or do you split it up and you kind of want to make your weaknesses a bit better so they're kind of balanced? But would you rather be really strengths up really high and have your weaknesses down here, or do you want to kind of be lower that strength down and bring the weakness up? Do you kind of...
If you asked me 5 years ago, I would have said I leave my strengths alone and just work on my weaknesses. You ask me now, and it's both. It's my strengths need to be better because that's what I'm good at, and I don't go out into a game thinking I'm not quick, I'm slow. Because if I do that, well, I'm probably not going to perform very well. Whereas, what am I good at? What do I know that is my best, and what do I bring to this group? Because I might not be quick, but I read the game and I can lead and I can communicate on the field better than another defender. And they are quick and they have an attribute that, I don't have. For me, it's both. It's strengthening your strengths and making them world class, but then, constantly topping up and working on your weaknesses. And you can do that in different forms. It's not just necessarily out in the hockey field. It's, learning how to combat your weaknesses in a different way as well.
Right.
Learning and reading and listening to podcasts, reading books of other athletes who you look at and you're like, oh gosh, you had it so easy, but really they're also sitting in meetings and being told that they're not this, they're not that, they're not whatever. The best player in the world, they might be the best player in the world, they still have a weakness. And obviously their strengths are incredibly good, which outweigh their weaknesses. But I think sometimes people, get feedback and they get really disheartened because they're like, oh, well, it's just me being told that I'm not good at this. But no, everyone's getting feedback constantly in life or in sport that they're not good enough at something and they need to improve it.
With feedback, do you feel like sometimes people kind of perceive feedback and say, oh, we always want positive feedback, and then when they do kind of get a negative feedback, they take it to heart almost too much and they let it affect them a lot? But you shouldn't really be classified as positive and negative feedback. Feedback is feedback,
constructive,
right? Yeah.
I think, not to blame younger generations, but I think the whole participation award, everyone's a winner, is a really bad thing for society. I don't think people should be excluded. I don't think people should be, favouritised or whatever. But, I think the participation award is negative because you then don't get given a tough message at an early age, which I think needs to be had. Again, should it be positive, negative feedback? Should it just be feedback in general? Negative feedback, as some people will perceive it, it can ruin people's career if they don't have that resilience or the ability to look at it with some perspective. For me, I say to my coaches that I get coached by or athletes that I play with, I want to be challenged. I want you to challenge me because I know I perform my best when I'm challenged. When I'm pushed outside my comfort zone and you tell me I'm not good enough, I'll prove you wrong that I'm good enough and that I will give you every single thing that I've got.
Has that always been the case?
Yeah, always. Yeah. And I don't know why, whether I learned it from mum and dad. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know whether at a young age someone said lots of things, you're not this, you're not that, whatever. And I was like, not screw you, but okay, well, I'll show you that I am. I'll go about it in my own unique way. I won't follow the book. I won't be the fastest person. I won't be the fittest person, but bloody hell, I'll work harder than any other one else. And if I work harder than anyone else, then that's going to set me in a pretty good position to be a great team player and to give my best that I possibly can for that team on a given day. Yeah,
it's always an interesting one. I like that because it has to come from when you're young. That doesn't it? You have to. I don't think it doesn't happen. You don't just all of a sudden wake up and say, okay, I want to be challenged more. I think it develops through age, and from a young age, you maybe it shouldn't be something that's really hard, but you've kind of been incrementally dosed as things a little bit challenging. You've achieved that. Okay, that feels good. Achievement is something that's oh wow, I want to go out and achieve something else because the feeling of being successful feels good, right?
Yeah.
I think I did karate when I was younger, and every time you get a belt, a new stripe on the belt, it's it's like a goal. It's driven, learning those sort of values, and when you're young, I think it's really important for obviously whatever you do after something like that. So you go away, you get a black belt, and you kind of have this achievement, and you go, okay, well, what's next? And you enter into your career, and you're going to go, okay, what are the steps? What are the goals? Achieve that. I'm here. All right, let's go. What's the next one? And you keep kind of incrementally climbing the ladder, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's why a lot of athletes transfer really well. Not everyone, but a lot of athletes transfer very well into like work once they finally get their job and work out what they want to do without necessarily having gone to uni. I think every athlete should go to uni. I think that should happen. But if they don't have the opportunity, a lot of the skills and lessons they learn in a sporting sector and environment then transfer really nicely to the professional world. And when I started as a physio, I think initially and when I went through my placements, people kind of delivered feedback on eggshells. And I was like, no, just tell me. It's okay. Like
that's a big one.
I've been told some pretty brutal things. I'll be fine. Like, you don't have to butter it up. I'll be okay. There's other things I can communicate really well. I've had to learn that through playing sport. So then that goes really well to my workplace when I keep going away every 2 weeks. I don't feel awkward going up to them and saying, oh, I'm really sorry, I'm going away again. It's just, look, this is what it is. I've had that conversation prior. We've set the foundation. They understand, again, I have an incredible workplace that are willing to manage my dual career. But yeah, you have those conversations to set yourself up rather than the awkward like, oh no, how do I tell the teacher that I now can't come to work or come to class or things like that.
That's a big one. That's so true. You got to have to say things to some people that you might not like to, but you have to hear it. Like, and even the same way, the other way around as well. Like if you go up to your superior and you ask for some feedback, you go see like a mentor and you talk to him as some feedback, and then you've got that little person in your head who's always battling back. Like you always want to be combative and try to protect your own ego as such as well. If you had to was that a learning curve for you as well? Like a little bit of finding it hard to kind of listen to negative feedback a little bit?
Yeah, I think you're gonna forever have the inner critic, and you're gonna forever have that self-doubt no matter what, even though I've worked so hard on that, and it's something I really struggled with earlier on. You're forever going to, I had it on Tuesday, we had our first selection of the year, and it didn't go the way I guess I was hoping or I was wanting it to go, and it was just for an internal game on Wednesday night at training, and I went to yoga that night, and you're supposed to be present in yoga and you're supposed to pay attention to your breathing and what you're doing, and I wasn't. I was in a completely different place. My mind was going at 1,000,000 miles an hour and just thinking, and that awful self-criticism, that awful you're not good enough, you're not this, you're not that, you're this, you're that, whatever. And I walked out of there and I was like, that's it, that's enough, no more. Go to bed, sleep well, get a great night's sleep, and wake up in the morning and tomorrow's a new day. And something that I did a little bit of work with Ben Crow is like having a mantra or having a saying that you can say to yourself to kind of snap you out of it and to remind yourself. And it can come in all forms. It might be a mantra. It might even be positive self-talk. So as soon as my mind starts spinning, and typically I reckon from now until the Olympics, it's a mind game. We're all good hockey players, all 25 of us in the squad. Everyone has the ability. Our squad's very, very talented. Everyone has the ability to go to, the Olympics. But it's a mind game from now on. So as soon as those thoughts start to come in, oh, I'm not good enough, I'm not this, I'm not that, it's no, that's enough. You are this, you are that. Like I'm good enough. Even though I don't think I'm that quick, I'm quick enough. I'm this enough. I'm that enough. I'm strong enough. I read the game well enough. And it's that constant affirmation or positive self-talk that, a coach is not going to sit in your corner and pump your tires up all the time. You have to have that. When I walk out, hopefully, to the Olympics on the game one, when we play Spain, I don't want to be sitting there going, well, and I'm sure my brain will try to trick me going, I'm not this enough, I'm not that enough. It'll be, no, deep breath, in, out, yep, cool, I'm ready for this. I've prepared my entire life for this. I didn't start preparing for this a month ago, didn't start preparing for this a year ago. I've been preparing since I was 10. Yeah. And over the time, I've learnt so many lessons. I've had lots of setbacks. But this is a stage, and I'm going to prove you wrong. All those people that said, you'll never make it. But I'm also going to love the moment, enjoy the moment, because this is for me.